Hi, Catherine. This is Nina, obviously, and this is my yogi. Her name is Caroline, and she's going to do the mermaid flow for me today. So, Caroline, are you ready?
Ready? Let's go.
Let us start in Tadasana. Just come to the front of the mat. No, standing.
Standing.
Arms to your side. There we go. Just breathe for a moment. Then sweep your hands up into high mountain pose. And then forward fold. Straight down to your feet. Lovely job. Halfway lift to your knees. Then press your hands against your shins and look forward. Stretch your neck forward. That's it. Just have a good press. Then down to forward fold again and step back to plank. You might have to take your socks off actually to see. And from plank, then just move into downward dog. Right back and tip your hips up as high as they will go. Lovely, okay. Then lift your right leg up into a three-legged dog. Straight up, keep going right up. There we go, super. And open your hips. So you bend your hips so your foot drops back.
Am I doing this
Bend
right?
your knee, yeah, you are, but bend it back.
yeah,
Perfect. Back to three-legged dog. And then bring your right leg forward between your hands. Straight between your hands into a lunge. Low lunge. Bring your knee down. That knee down. There we go, and your foot flat on the floor. There we go, lovely. Lift your hands, lift your arms up into a lunge. All right, do you feel steady? Do you want to stop and take your socks off?
I do. I'm just quickly.
That's fine, because I just think it's safer if you do.
Yeah.
So you don't slip. There we go, better. All right, so lunge, arms up. Right, so then drop this hand to the floor and come up in a side bend. Just bend over this way. Just bring your hand over into a stretch. Sit. And then up in the air, hands up in the air, and down to the center. Come up, cactus your arms open wide, and just give a little back bend. Arms up straight, and then interlace your hands behind your back, and give yourself a nice little back bend there. Cool. Hands down to the floor. Step to the top of the mat, and do a halfway lift. Up to there. That's it. Standing, pressing forward, looking back. And then stand up slowly to mountain pose. How was that?
Beautiful.
Okay, so now we're going to do that on the other side.
Okay.
If we can remember. So, stand into Tadasana. There we go. Sweep your hands up to high mountain pose. Lovely. Down to forward fold. Down to fold. Halfway lift. Down to fold. Thank you. Step back to plank. Cool. And then lift yourself up to your hips up to downward facing dog. Cool. I think I ought to be on the other side actually. Right, your left leg into a high. There we go. Bend your hip. Cool. Up straight again and step through into a low lunge. Lovely. Kneeling, foot down, sweep your hands up. And then bend to the other side. Remember you put that hand, no. This hand went, and then bend over. And then up, both hands, up, come up. Cactus hands. Back a little bit, that's it. Up straight. Link your hands behind your back. And that's it. And then hands come down. And step forward, forward fold, halfway lift. And just roll up to high mountain pose, Tadasana. And hands down to your side. That's cool. Right, okay, so now, because what we're doing is warming your muscles up so that we can get into that peak pose, which I can't do. So, next one, do you know chair pose? Okay, I'll just quickly demonstrate. Just going to demonstrate chair pose. So, that's chair pose. Leaning back on your heels are in. You don't have to hold that pose for long, but it can be quite tiring, okay?
Okay.
So see if you can try that.
I start, yeah?
Start at the top. Give yourself a bit more room. Move your feet forward. There we go. Chair pose. There we go. Correct. Cool. Then interlace your fingers behind your back if you can, and just give yourself, that's it, give yourself a little stretch, and then bring your hands down to a halfway. That's it, and step back to plank. And downward facing dog. Thank you. Lift your right leg again and open the hip like you did before. So right up and, yep, cool. Can you do a wild thing?
I don't know.
It's when you flip over so that this leg lands on the floor behind you in that bend. Yes, and then stretch your hands up. That's it, perfect. And then come back into that three-legged dog pose. And then bring your leg forward in a high lunge. That's it, remember. And then you do high lunge. So that's when your leg is asset. And lift your arms up if you can, if you're balanced. And then do that bend over to the right.
This way.
Yeah. Well, it's not. No, it's just
It's
just actually meant to be a lateral bend like that.
What a lateral like
You
that.
don't have to move the other hand. You just drop the one hand.
Yeah.
Down. That's it.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. That's it. And then up to the middle. Cactus arms and back. Same as last time. Up to the middle.
What about interlacing?
Yes, that's coming next. You've just jumped the gun. Back behind you, interlaced. Nice stretch. And then come forward into humble warrior. Do you know that one?
Yeah.
So you've got your legs here. You're going to come forward like that. There we go. Perfect. Plant your hands down and back to downward facing dog. Well done. Then lift your left leg, the opposite one, yep. Flip. Okay. Oh, one thing might be a bit, yes. Look at you go. Well done. And then back, leg up, and that's it. And then come forward in your high lunge this time. Okay. Sweep your hands up. Woo! And then that bend to the other side. That way. That's fine. Then up in your cactus arms. It's hard work.
Yeah, sure.
And then up, and then link hands and humble warrior to this side.
What was that again?
Humble warrior is when you come down and bring your,
yeah.
that's it, yeah. And then plant your hands and down to downward facing dog. Okay, right, so you can now walk up to the front of the mat if you'd like. Good thing. Right, next one I'm just going to demonstrate because I'm not sure if you know it.
No,
So
it's
it's
no nothing.
Okay, so this one is a prayer twist, okay? But for the prayer twist, you start in your
Chair pose or
Uttanasana pose, yes. And we're going to go to the right. It's like that, but you're not putting any pressure. You're actually hooking your arm over this side and having a good twist. You don't have to hold that pose for long.
Okay, so it's in the chair,
Yep.
and then I
Twist, perfect, cool. And then see if you can lift this leg back. Oh, done, showing off. And then come up into warrior 2. So just come up, leg bent. Right, warrior 2, Caroline. Your feet have to intersect. So that's it, to give you a nice stable base. So when you come down like this, and try and keep that knee tracking out towards the little toe. And then come towards the wall into a star shape. Just that's it. And then go, yes, and then turn to the back of the mat and do no, not a triangle, the other thing, a extended side angle. So, so that arm comes. Sweep it up from the front rather. There we go. Ta-da! Keep it over your head. There.
Okay.
That's it. Perfect. And then left elbow on left knee. Oh, that's the other option. Yeah, that's the other option. And then can you do a reverse warrior? So you keep that leg bent, but you lean back.
Where my arm?
Oh, right, they're going to come down like this. And they're going to see if you can touch them like that. Cool. I can't. Well done. Windmill your arms down again to downward facing dog. Sit. And yeah, at the back of the mat, and then bring your right leg into three-legged dog. Oh, what? Up three-legged dog. That's one that sticks up against. That's I know you are.
Arse end.
You're actually meant to be facing arse end for some reason. Turn and bring it into low lunge. Low lunge is when you're. Well, I think it was meant to be high actually. Sorry, my mistake. Turn to the other side of the mat. That's fine. Now you've got to do a goddess. So that leg's straight. No. Bring both your feet. That's it. Turning slightly. That's it. Goddess. And then straight legs up into star. Back down to goddess. Straight up into star. Yoo-hoo! Second one. Again. Do it again. And up into star. Perfect. And then turn to face the front of the mat. And step forward. And bring this leg into a four-legged. Four-legged. It's a hip rotation, like so. I think we went the wrong way around the mat. Sorry, Catherine, we went the wrong way around the mat, so we've ended up this way round. Lift your. Sorry, I've lost myself completely now.
I'm balancing.
Well done. You can come down. Come down. Forward fold. Halfway lift. And come all the way up to Tadasana. You want to catch your breath because you've got to do all that again.
Yes. Okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
I don't
That's
even know
good.
where I am anywhere.
We're doing good.
Doing good. Right, so it's chair pose again with your twist on the other side. Prayer twist on the other side. Yep. Lovely. And then step back into a high lunge.
Don't I have to do that?
Yeah, that's perfect. You do it showing off as well. Step back. Yep, lovely stuff.
Into a lunge.
Into a lunge. And then warrior two. Oh, stand up. Warrior two. Yep. Oh, yes. So your drishti, your point of focus, when you're in a warrior two, your point of focus is your middle finger.
Got it.
Okay, cool. Well done. Then turn that way and do the star again. Straight up with the star, then swivel around to.
On and then down.
No, then you turn to the back of the mat and you do that extended side angle from that one. So you can bend that front, bend this knee. That's it. And then that one. But you bring your hand up from this way and you get a better, there we go.
Okay.
You can do stretch. And you can either do it there or with your hand down like you did before, which was very advanced. And then we will have reverse warrior. So you come up with your legs still bent and you do that showy off thing behind your back, which I have. That one doesn't work so well. I can't do it at all. So you're doing beautifully. Then windmill your arms down and come up back into downward facing dog. There we go. Downward facing dog. And then lift your right leg.
My left.
Did you use your right last
Yeah.
time? Okay, your right leg then. And, sorry, your left leg then. Yes, of course it is. And come into a high lunge. High lunge. High lunge, high lunge, high lunge. And you turn to the other side of the mat in your goddess squat with your hands in cactus. That's it. And then up to star and down and up to star and down and up to star. And then turn to the front of the mat in your high lunge. And then step forward and it's figure four with the other leg. Remember? Oh yeah, that other balancing thing. Yes. You're very smart. Now you can just place your foot back down and relax for a minute into Tadasana. You actually have an option to do dancer's pose when you come out of that one, then you kick your leg back and hold it. But we didn't do it on the other side, so that's just an option. We've got to stay the same. Right, this is where it gets a bit more chaturanga. Do you know chaturanga?
Me and a note.
Okay, so like a plank,
Mm.
but you're going to do it from kneeling. So to start with, you're going to come down into this position and you're going to lower yourself slowly down.
I mean the cobra.
Right the way down to the floor and come up into cobra, yes.
Okay.
That's the start.
Chaturanga.
Chaturanga, but no, start in Tadasana. We always start in Tadasana. Right, so high Tadasana, high mountain, forward fold, halfway lift, plant your hands and go back kneeling, both legs back, plank and then kneel from there. Kneel, legs down, that's it. Now lower yourself down, this is Chaturanga. Come down, Caroline, come down over your, it's that kind of action, like that one, but right the way down. So your chest's on the floor, everything's on the floor, and then come up in baby cobra. Cool. Come back down again, and then come up into your planks, your kneeling plank from there. Push yourself up into kneeling plank and up into down dog.
Up into down dog.
Well done. And then you're gonna come forward, sweep your right leg forward into pigeon. You know, pigeon. Yeah. Cool. And then it's going to be a quad stretch for your pigeon. But first of all, come lay down, stretch out, walk your hands to the right, way, come back to the centre, walk your hands to the left, that's it, come back to centre. Now raise yourself up so your chest is up, nice and high, bend that knee at the back, you bend the back knee, right up, you're going to catch it in the quad stretch. There we go, like that. Just pull it in gently, don't overdo it. And then lower it down to the ground. If you find that that is difficult to keep your balance, you can pop a block under the hip that's, so we got like this and we're like this, that leg out behind us. You can pop a block under there, that's why I left the block there, because it gives you more balance and you can grab your leg easier when you've got that balance. So if you want to try it like that, with that block, it might just make you feel
a break.
it's a useful break. See if you can get yourself into wiggle the block
I
under.
don't find it comfy.
You don't find it comfy. Let me have a think.
I'm fine without it.
All right, I'm sure. Okay. All right. So just a quad stretch then, and let it down slowly, and then then tuck in your toe, sweep your leg around, back to downward facing dog. Sweep your downward facing dog. Cool. Then come down in your knees down again. That's it, and down into your baby cobra.
Okay.
There we go. Lovely job. And then up, and up to kneeling, and back into your downward facing dog. Cool. Your downward facing dog's cool. Hips are pointing up high. The idea with downward facing dog is to stretch. If you've got bent legs, it doesn't matter too much, but you've got to get your hips up high. Okay, so then left. So repeat all of that then for your other leg. So that gets a stretch as well. Pigeon. Yeah. Is that the one you did just now?
No, I was right.
Oh, you were. Yeah. Off you go. See if you can get yourself a quad. Yeah. Lower it slowly. Don't let it go bang. There we go. Gently, and then back into downward facing dog. Yeah. Right. This is your king pose coming up now. So you're going to do that pigeon pose again on the other side. And now I can't do it. The thing to do is to get this foot into the elbow.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Try
and get it into the elbow. And then you're meant to touch your arms. As you can see, there's no chance of me doing that. But that's good.
They're supposed to touch.
Yeah, they are meant to grab. You
Okay,
know, like those
well-
cow face hands you were doing earlier.
Well, with time they'll touch.
They would, yeah. They would
Practice.
over time. It's practice and it's getting into it. But just doing it is wonderful. Okay, perfect.
Okay,
Bring your hands down and then go back into downward facing dog. Lift your other leg high. That's it. And just
Pigeon
pigeon
pose.
pose. Pull it in.
The crook.
Hold into the crook. There we go. Your knees come across beautifully. Mine don't go across in that. I knew you wouldn't struggle with your hips because you're so flexible there. Lovely. Okay. Back down. Go back into downward dog. You come forward to your forward fold again. Just step forward, Caroline. That's it. Forward fold, and then halfway lift, and then all the way up to Tadasana. Option to do wheel. I'll just tell you what wheel is from there. It's going down into a Malasana squat.
And then you're going to demonstrate.
I know, I'm not. I did it though.
Okay.
I did do it.
So I must go down into a what
You don't
squat?
have to. No, you've done your peak pose. It's fine. I'm just going to say, if you were now going to do wheel from there, because all those warm ups, you've got nice. Your
Okay,
back,
well, let's
back's
do a
nice
wheel.
and-
I'll
Okay.
do it.
All right, my girl. So, go down to chair pose.
To chair.
Chair pose. With your hands in prayer. It's fine. Then sit down into squat. Malasana squat.
Like this.
There we go. Roll yourself gently back onto your bum. And you're going to do bridge. You know, bridge pose. So lay down. Arms.
yeah,
and
bridge.
And with this, we put our arms, we walk our shoulders under in yoga, and then up into bridge. Right, as high as you can get. Bring your heels in a bit closer.
Together.
No, closer to your bum.
To my bum.
Yeah,
Okay,
so you
got
can get
it.
a higher bridge. Yeah, and then you can lower it down, and then for wheel, your hands go either side of you, but as wide. I found it's easier to do it with your hands wider and further nearer your shoulders.
Yes.
So here,
Yeah.
yeah,
And
and then you just go up
Oh, jeez, I don't know if I can
into
do one of that.
wheel. It's
I've
not
got my
easy.
hips up, I can't
Well.
get my head up.
Well,
I think
you
I
tried. Thank you very much. And for that, you may now have a shavasana.
Is that a break?
That's a shavasana.
Oh, I could there.
Sleep.
Get it up.
Oh, yeah. You nearly
Next time I'll
did.
get it.
Yeah. It's strength, I think.
Yeah.
It's your
You need to do
shoulder
it to get
strength.
strength.
So, Catherine, I hope that worked for you. Thank you so much, Caroline, for coming and being
Welcome.
my yoga buddy.
Well, I hope I'm going to come again.
I hope you are, because Wednesday I need another one.
Right, I'll be back.
Thank you. I hope this is suitable for what you wanted. Bye.